Hey guys, it's your girl Nosh, and do I have some tea for you? I actually did a reading for a client a few nights ago, and I'm going to tell you what happened to her. I already have her permission, so if you're listening out there, this is dedicated to you. You know who you are. As you guys know, I do tarot, I do birth charts, I do Reiki healing. I do work with the Akashic Records. I do work with past life regressions, past life meditations. Pretty much, if you want to figure out what your past life is, I can help you sit down and figure it out. This is just many of the things that, I do as a spiritualist because my true nature is a spiritualist. Me doing tarot, me doing birth charts, that's just my hobbies. That's just something I like to do. I know how to do, so I offer it to my clients. So I had a specific client come in. And again, I've spoken to her about this, and she said she was okay with me sharing this story because she feels this story might be able to help someone else out. And when she said that, I literally, I felt so, I felt so like, I'm not going to say empathetic. I felt sympathetic towards her. I just, my heart just grew for her so much. And she lives halfway across the world. And believe it or not, I wanted to jump through the phone and I wanted to hold her. I wanted to hug her because, boy, what this person has gone through, it's it's amazing. It's amazing and it's crazy, and it's something that we can all learn from, you know? So I was talking to a client a few nights ago, and she said to me that she is finally starting to see that her mother is the karmic female or the karmic feminine energy in her life. And I said, okay, that's understandable. And she wanted to know, by doing birth charts for her and her mom, she wanted me to do a composite chart, right? A composite chart is basically like you take two charts and you put them together, and you kind of overlap one another to see where this person's houses hit your house, where this person's planets hit your planet. And believe it or not, you can find out if you have someone in your life that has been following you from your past lives. Your birth charts are able to tell you that. So another reason why I'm doing this video is a lot of you want to find out, do your birth chart. Find out from the birth chart. The birth chart will never lie. It will tell you honestly. And here and there, I give you guys clues too, especially on my TikTok, on what are karmic connections. When I say karmic connections, I always, I personally think of I'll rephrase it. What are past karmic connections? What are connections that are following you from past lives? I think it's very important for us to know where we came from in order to know where we're going. Okay. So we did her chart, and it turned out that her mom in one life was her daughter, a very rebellious daughter, right? This lifetime, this person's mother is their mother this lifetime, but in a past life, maybe 2-3 lifetimes ago, this person was the mother was the daughter. In another past life, I saw that this same mother, right, was the person's lover, was the husband, or was a wife. This person has been following my client life after life after life. Now, one would say, why? I wanted to know why, so I dug a little deeper. And I asked her, I said, well, how do you feel about your mom? Because feelings are very important, guys. Energy never lies, right? So what you feel from someone is highly important. So I asked her, I said, what do you feel from this woman every time that you're around her? And she goes, I feel a sense of, what is the word that she used? She said, I feel a sense of defense around her. Like I always have to defend myself around her. Like I always have to protect myself around her. And I said, that's really sad because that's your mom. If anything, a mother is appointed by God to a child, to a little infant, to watch over them, to take care of them. Like God handpicks mothers, right? The universe handpicks mothers. And the babies also have a say in this, like, if they want this person to mother them. So I was thinking like, wow, this person has been following this has been following my client life after life after life, just to slow them down, just to make delays for them. Yes, because mom's Saturn hits my client's chart so much, and Saturn is all about karma, right? My client's mom's Pluto hits her, a few houses of hers, and I was like, wow, okay, I see it right there too, especially that fourth house. Fourth house is family, siblings, your in-house relationships, and that's where the square was. When you have a square in a chart, that's not good. What happens when we square up with someone? We're about to fight them. We have to get defensive. We have to get on the offense and the defense, because we're squaring this person. Our planet is squaring this other individual's planet, so this way we square up. So I said, okay, because I see it. I was like, in your chart, I see that you do have a lot of squares with your mom when it comes to your planets. Conjunctions are good, sextiles are good, trines are good. When you have oppositions and you have squares and you have some conjunctions, because sometimes two signs together, it's not a good recipe. So I saw that my client's mom was squaring my client's birth chart a lot. Okay, so I asked her, I continued to talk to her about it. I was like, do you feel that your mom never takes your side? She goes, yeah. I said, do you feel that your mom is always unhappy when you're happy? And she's like, yeah, all the time. She goes, sometimes she's like, I felt so bad for the kid. I was like, I'm sorry, she's not a kid, she's a grown woman, but me being who I am, I kind of look at, you guys as children. We're all adults, but we're still children on the inside that need love, that need to be held. And that's where my mothering side came out for her, like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. She goes, as she was growing up, she always felt like she was in competition with her mother. First, if it wasn't in competition for attention with her mother, it was in competition to prove herself who she was to her mother. So it kind of sounds like she had a relationship with her mom, like a jealous relationship. Like her mom would always be jealous of her. If she wore something nice, mom would always make a face. If she dated someone, mom would always make a face, right? And she told me that she made her feel like that mom was hiding behind the whole, oh, you need better, you need to do better, you need to do better, which I totally agree. We all need to do better. But the way this mother was going about things was really horrible. And then she tells me that she actually got engaged. She finally fell in love. She found someone, because she was explaining to me that as she was growing up, no matter who she liked, who she dated, her mother was against it. Both mother and father were against it, right? And I said, okay, were they against it because they didn't like the people that you chose, or is it because you came from a strict household? And she goes, it was both. And I said, okay. I was like, what happened as you got older? Because after 18, after 20, your parents really can't tell you what to do. I'm sorry to break it to you, parents. If you have children, you have to understand that your child is their own person when it comes to a certain age where they can make their own decisions. And whether you like the decisions that they make or not, you have to let a person be a person and kind of like, experience life, other than you telling them, oh no, life is going to be like this. Because a lot of times, parents care a lot, but there's some parents that hover over their children or cage their children or shelter their children too much. So when the child is actually out in the real world, they don't know how to behave in it, in a sense. That's why we say to make sure that no matter what you do, you try to raise your kids to be better people than yourself, or you try to do better than your parents did. Okay, I'm getting off track. Let me get back to her story. So she told me that as she was growing up, she was probably maybe 15, 16 years old, and she was secretly meeting someone. She had a boyfriend, like everybody in high school does, unless, oh, I mean, listen, when you are in a teenager, right, and you're in a teenager phase, you either like boys or you like girls. You like somebody, you have crushes, these things happen. They're natural things that the heart does, or these are natural things that human beings do. If you don't, I don't know what to say. I have never met someone who's never had a crush at 14, 15. I've never met anyone who really wanted to have a boyfriend at that age. We have hormones, guys. And at that age, those hormones are faster than any rocket ship that's out there. So she told me that, I don't know why I'm bringing the hormone stuff up, but what she said to me was that when she was a teenager, her mom found out that she was dating someone. And her mom immediately stopped that from moving forward. Her mom, I think she said that her mom went out and met the guy and told him, oh, I forbid you to see my daughter and this, and that. Sounds like such a K-drama. Oh my God. I told this girl, I was like, if you write a story, honey, I was like, I would read it. And if you wrote a script for a drama, I would watch it. So she said that her mother broke them up, right? Because all of a sudden now the guy is no longer picking her up for after school. The guy is no longer around. He's not calling her. And so my client is like, okay, what happened? Next thing she tells me is that her mom puts her on the plane and takes her back to her native country. Now, my client was born and raised here, but obviously the parents came from another country. So what ended up happening was, so she put her on a plane when she was like 15 years old, brought her back to their native country, and told her it was summer vacation. We're going on summer vacation. Then she tells me it wasn't summer vacation. Her mom forced her to get engaged to someone, that was, I guess, in the family or whatever, or close to the family. And I said, oh, wow, I'm so sorry. She goes, yeah. She goes, all I did was just like someone, and my mom found out about it, and she brought me straight back home and got me engaged. And I said, why didn't you say no? You had the opportunity to say no or whatever. And so the client says to me, I honestly don't remember what happened. I was like, you don't remember? Like, what do you mean you don't remember? You don't remember meeting the person? You don't remember saying yes to the engagement? Like, girl, you got engaged. Like, what happened? Like, it's not something like you were sleeping or they had you sedated and they put a ring on your finger and said, okay, you're engaged. Well, then again, you don't know people. People might do that type of shit. And if you do that type of shit, you're a disgusting human being. She goes, no, that she felt very confused. She said that she was already heartbroken because the guy that she liked wasn't calling her, and there was no way for her to call him because she was in another country. She was abroad. And she goes, so the guy that her mom introduced her to and got her engaged to, she said he was very sweet. He took her around. He showed her everywhere there was. And she goes, that was the first time she actually ever felt freedom. That was the first time where she actually went out of the house without her mom and dad being there. So as she's telling me the story, I'm picking up on the fact that, wow, so she was caged as a child. Up until a teenager, right? She was caged. So honestly, it was obviously that this girl was like, running to like somebody or wanting to have company, because it sounded like her parents had cut her off from everybody, right? Even as a child growing up, it kind of seems like they cut her off from everybody. So one little open door she got, she ran and she flew like a bird, right? So she says that she was very confused. She was attracted to the person or whatnot. She thought he was nice. He was sweet. And she goes, her mom asked her one night, oh, so what do you think about such and such? And she said, oh, he's pretty cool. And she goes, next thing she knows, they're getting engaged. And she told her mom that, she's not sure if she wants to get married to this person. She's not sure that she wants to get engaged. And her mother's response was, you don't know anything right now. I know better. Well, obviously, I'm sitting on the other line thinking like, wow, mom, wow. Like, obviously, she's a child. At 15, you really don't know better, whether you like this one or not. You like people for 3-4 months and then you get over it. You see the next crush, you like them. Like, how many of us at 15 were crazy over New Kids on the Block? I swore I was going to marry Jordan McKnight. You know what I mean? For my oldies out there, for my people that are like the early millennials born in like the early 80s, if you were down with New Kids on the Block and Backstreet Boys, I had crushes on them like crazy. You know what I mean? It was just a normal thing to do. But her mom basically was trying to tell her that she doesn't know anything, and that her mother knew everything, and that she, and the engagement was the best thing. So I basically said to her, I said, do you think looking back now that your mom got you engaged at such an early age is because you won't get pregnant or run away with that person that you were in love with back in the States? And she goes, I really think so. And I said, would you have ran away with him if you had gotten the opportunity? Because you know me, I got to get deep. And she said to me she would have, because of the way her circumstances were growing up in her home. She said that she would. She said that she was looking to get out as possible as you know, as she can. Or let me rephrase that. She wanted to get out as soon as possible as she could. Like, she couldn't wait to you know, turn 18 to leave the parents' house, basically, which totally understandable. So I asked her, I said, okay, then what happened? And she's like, well, what ended up happening is, she goes, I got engaged to him. And she goes, and then what happened is, she goes, I came back to the States, and here's my mother telling everybody, oh, she's engaged and she's this and she's that. And she said that a lot, her friends, now my client's friends, were looking at her like, you really got engaged? And she's like, yeah. And, you know, she says that her friends were like telling her like, bro, you're young. You're like, you haven't even finished high school yet. Like, why is this happening? And I could literally, as I'm hearing her story, I have tears coming out of my eyes. I'm listening and I'm thinking, wow, control is such a bitch, and control can ruin so many lives. So she goes and she tells me that she got engaged. The guy came to the United States a year later. They got married. And I was like, well, when you got married, like, you know, did you not say like that you didn't want to get married? She goes, yes, I did say I didn't want to get married. She goes, but I was 16 at the time and I had nowhere to live and I had no money. And she goes, and my parents threatened me that if I did not get married, I would be kicked out of the house and that I would have nowhere to live. Manipulation. You see where this is going? You see how this tactic is going? Manipulation. So if you don't do what I say, wow, such narcissistic behavior. If you don't do what I say, these are the consequences of what are going to happen. If you don't marry such and such, we're going to kick you out. We're going to take everything away from you. Okay, so the poor child at 16, obviously a child at 16, did not know what to do. She was like, she goes, I didn't know what to do. So I just said yes, because she goes, I didn't have nowhere to go. I didn't have no house to live in. And my parents wouldn't let me work. So how would I, you know, take care of myself? She goes, so the day that she married that person that her mom chose for her, she told him, I don't really like you. I'm not in love with you. I'm just doing this so I can have a roof over my head, because my parents say if I don't marry you, they're going to kick me out. Luckily, the person that the parents chose for her, I guess, had some type of decency, right? Had some type of decency. And he said, you know what? Okay, fine. I'll marry you. It won't be anything serious. You know, just help me get on my feet. And soon as we're of age, because I believe he was about 18, 19. He was a couple of years older than her, she told me. He says, when we get on our feet and we get older and they no longer can't tell us what to do, we will get divorced. Okay. And so the girl was like, okay, fine, makes sense. He goes, in the meantime, go to school, do what you need to do. If you need to go out, tell them you're going out with me. Talk about a K-drama. Okay. I really want this girl to write the story. I'm hoping that, you know, we get a lot of views for this and a lot of people hear this, because if we do, this will be enough confirmation for me to go to her and be like, please write a script. Please write this story. Because I really feel the world needs to hear this girl's story, this woman's story. And plus, we have a lot of people out there that have gone through similar things, but are just afraid to talk about it, right? So she tells me that her husband, right, her forced husband says to her, what we could do is we'll just pretend that we're married, and if you need to go out anywhere, I'll take you, you know, this and that. I'm going to get a job and I'm going to try to save money and this and that. And he goes, we'll be fine. We'll get through it. Just give it a little time and I'll talk to your parents and I'll get you out of this. Imagine if he was a tyrant. Imagine if he was an asshole. This would have gone south so badly. You know what I mean? Poor girl was already outcasted from her family, got forced to get married, then was told that if you don't do this marriage, we're going to kick you out and take everything from you. How do you say that to a child? That's my question. How do you say that to your own child? That's your child. That is someone you gave birth to from your womb, from your fucking ovaries. How do you do that to someone? You know how you do it? Because there's a lot of selfish people out here. You know how you do it? When you're a karmic feminine, okay? When you have a karmic feminine in your life, so it doesn't matter if it's a best friend, a mother, a sister, a karmic is a karmic is a karmic is a karmic. They only care about themselves. They don't care about anybody else, okay? So now you're going to say, well, what did the mother get out of this by getting her married and this and that? What her mother got was everybody first of all, let's clear this up. She told me that my client said that her mom got her married because she told her that it would be the right thing to do because that's what everybody in the family was telling her to do. So my client's grandmother, her aunts, all these people were telling my client's mother, no, 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 get her marry her off so she won't go have sex and get pregnant and this and that, right? Wow. That's amazing. So then she says to me that she finally, when she starts working, she finishes school, she does what she needs to do, she graduates, and she finally, books a lawyer. I guess that's what you do. You get a lawyer. I don't know about these things, guys. Okay. So she got a lawyer and she got her divorce. She paid for the divorce all by herself. And I'm so like happy for her. Like I was like, oh wow, so that's awesome. And she's like, yeah, so I paid for the divorce all by myself. And she goes, I went and I did everything by myself. She goes, my mom came with me to court that day. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, she told my lawyer, oh, we try to do the best for our kids. What can we do if our kids don't listen? And she goes that the lawyer's remark was, as parents, it's our job to protect our kids. That's all we're supposed to do. After that, whatever our kids decide to do, whether it's under our protection or out of our protection, whether we agree with it or not, the child has their own right. The adult has their own right to live their life how they want. And he said that she told me that the lawyer had said that if your daughter feels more comfortable not being married to him, then let it be so, And I was like, you know what, good for you, because you finally stood up to your mom. And she's like, so she starts working this and that. And, things are going great. She starts dating someone. And now she's getting engaged to this person. Right? So now this is a real engagement. Like she's like, early. I think she's like in her late 20s now. You know what I mean? And she wants to get married for real. She really likes this person. She goes that she was really in love with this guy. She really wanted to be with him. They were together for like a few years. And he finally popped the question. And, he wanted to marry her. So just like any man is supposed to do, I think in my book, he went to her house to ask for her hand in marriage, and he brought the ring with him. She told me that he asked her mom to insure the ring, and the mom was like, oh, no, I don't want to insure anything. This is not my issue. This is not my problem. Because I don't even know if you guys are going to be together or not, and I don't want to be stuck in the middle. And I said to my client, I said, really, that's what your mom said? I was like, wow. And she's like, yeah. And then I said to her, I was like, okay, so what happened? And she goes, she doesn't know. She goes, she felt, again, confused. She goes, 4 months before the wedding, right? Or 6 to 4 months before the wedding, or right before the wedding, she says that she started to feel confused. She started to feel suffocated. She started feeling anxiety. And now I'm listening to this and I'm like, can I stop you right there for a second? And she goes, yeah, what happened? I said, you told me the same thing happened to you when you were getting forcefully married, that you were confused, you didn't know what was going on, you felt sad, you felt heartbroken. She goes, yeah. I said, could it be possible that your mom is doing magic on you? And she's like, what? I was like, these signs that you're talking about sound like magic spells, like when you do magic on people. I was like, there's magic called confusion magic, chaos magic, breakup magic, sour jar magic. I was like, there's so many types of different magic. I said, people use in order to get what they want. And she goes, I don't know. I said, let me find out for you. So I pulled my cards. I asked my spirits, my spirits tuned in with her spirit. And guess what we found out, guys? That her own mother has been doing magic on her since she was 15 years old, along with her sister. So mom and sister were both ganging up on the daughter to do magic on her. And then I said to her, I was like, so your mom has been doing magic on you, for the past maybe since you were 15, I guess, And she goes, why? I said, let's find out. So I pull more cards and then I ask the question, why is this woman doing magic on her child? And the cards that I got was 9 of Wands, jealousy, the devil, controlling, power, obsession, possession, and King of Pentacles. Meaning her mom wanted to make sure that she was always in control over this child. So I asked her, I was like, is your mom the same way with your other siblings? And she goes, no. And I said, wait a minute. So with the other siblings, she's fine. She lets them do whatever they want. And my client goes, No, it's not that she doesn't let them do whatever they want. My siblings don't listen to my mother and they do whatever they want. So my mother has no power over them. And then so I said, so why does mom have power over you? I asked my client. And she goes, because I feel bad. I feel like I want to make her happy. That, you know what, I want her to be happy with me. And I told her right then and there, that's where you need to cut the cord. I was like, that obligation that you constantly feel that you have to make her happy and you have to be this role model of a child for her. I said, your mom doesn't feel that way about you according to the cards. According to the cards, she hates you. She's been doing magic on you and she just wants to control you. And everybody's probably thinking like, but why does this mother want to control her? Okay, let me ask you this question. Why do karmics come into your life and pull the shit that they do? Because there's a lesson you need to learn. So I explained to my client, I said, the lesson that you need to learn in this situation is that you need to pick yourself. There's nothing wrong. You're not a bad person if you don't side with your parents. I was like, you're not a bad person if you don't agree with what your mother says. I was like, you're not a bad person if you think about yourself. I was like, because this person, this being has been following you from life after life after life to teach you this lesson that you need to choose yourself. You need to put yourself first. You know, become so self-reliant, so self-sufficient, so independent. And which will make your mother so oh my, I can't even say the word. Instead of being significant, she will become insignificant. And that's how you break a narcissist down, by taking away the power they have over you. Right? So I told her, I was like, I can heal your heart for you. I'll heal your root. I'll heal your sacral, because these are the areas that your mom attacked you at. And you know what, to be honest with you, again, my heart broke so much for my client, because we actually have people in this world who are like this. All right? We do have people in this world that do this. They try to take out revenge from previous lives or whatever the case is. We're going to say that in this situation, the mom just wanted to control and delay because mom was an enemy from another life. Okay? What happens is, when you come back in this lifetime as someone's mother, as someone's father, as someone's daughter, as someone's sibling, you have to track back to see what these people were to you in past lives. We're not born into families just because we choose them. We are born into families, well, yes, because we choose them. We're born into families, and the reason why we choose them is because there is work that needs to be done. It's called soul work, okay? So she asked me, she goes, so what do I have to do in order to get my mom to stop doing what she's doing? And I simply said to her, I said, according to the cards, you have to become the high priestess. You have to become the empress. You have to become the queen of wands, meaning you have to barricade yourself, protect yourself from her. Forgive her for what she did, but moving forward, do not invite her, do not engage with her, do not do anything with her that has to do with something that you're working with from your heart. Because from the get-go, right? From the get-go, your mom was out for you. And my client was just in tears. She was in tears, and she goes, all I ever wanted was my mom's love. You know, all I ever wanted was my mom to just hold me and tell me that I'm a good kid, that I'm proud of you. And I said, you're not going to get that from someone who's a narcissist. I said, if anything, you were trained how to deal with narcissists growing up for a reason, because you have this ability. And my client is super special. I'm going to tell you something, guys. My client is extremely super special. She's very gifted. She's very talented. And I can understand why her mom was trying to hold her back. It kind of made me feel like that the mom was trying to live her life through her daughter and was getting upset when the daughter wasn't making the same decisions that mom wanted to make when mom was young. And the message I have is, mom, life is over. You done lived your fucking life. You done got married. You had your kids. You should let your children live how they want to live. Whether it's good or bad in your eyes, it's their life. Let them choose and decide what they want to do. So at the end of this, as we wrapped it up for my client, I said to her, I said, your main message is not to worry about what your mother is doing, but continue working hard towards the things that make you happy. And I told her, I said, this lifetime, you are truly just supposed to pick yourself, make heart connections with people that are like-minded, and people that are there for you, and people that are not there for you, you're supposed to let them go. Not let them go in a sense where I hate you, I don't want to deal with you anymore. Let them go in a sense where, you know what, I forgive you for anything that I did to that you did to me, and I forgive, and I hope you forgive me for anything I did to you, and keep it moving. You know what I mean? Just keep it moving. And my client was like, is it that simple? I was like, it's actually very simple. I was like, cut the cord with her, abandon the contract, void the contract, throw the contract away, burn the contract away, and set yourself free. I said, the only one that's holding you back is you. I said, you and your mother have that relationship where it's a girl and a guy, where the girl constantly wants the guy to show her attention, but the guy completely ignores her. Now, is everybody relating to this? Right? Our twin flames, karmic relationships, karmic people. One loves, but the other one doesn't. One is willing to give life, heart, everything, but the other one is not willing to give anything other than taking. So this is the dynamic that this woman was dealing with in her life. And then I'm really glad that we got a chance to sit down and kind of like untangle those knots that were put inside of her to think that something was wrong with her. So in conclusion, what I want to tell you guys is, I speak to people from all over the world. I hear stories about many different things. Some stories scare me. Some stories make me sad. Some stories make me, want to like just be like, what is wrong with people? But at the end of the day, my job is not to judge or anything. My job is to feel sympathetic towards these humans and help them heal. Now, the way I help people heal is by not getting revenge, by moving forward, because that is the best revenge you can serve to someone, is by moving forward and pretending like they don't exist anymore. Okay? Now, with my client, the situation is she is a type of individual. She's an earth angel, okay? Total earth angel, total star seed. Hence why she had to go through so much drama growing up. I said to her, I said, every time you get into an emotional standpoint or standoff with your mother, it brings your talent down. It brings your abilities down because you get emotional, you get sad. And I said, you can't be sad. You have to be lighthearted all the time. You have to be happy. You have to be positive. I said, because that's how you heal others, you heal yourself, and you bring good stuff into your life. I said, you're a creator, right? And she's like, okay, so what do I do? I said, completely ignore your mother. I was like, if you can, ignore her, try to move out as fast as you can. You can keep a contact with her, but don't tell her what's going on in your life. And I told her, I said, try it for 7 days. Keep your mouth shut, right? Don't tell her anything. And then let me know how things work out. I was like, if things work out for 7 days, do it for 30 days. Do it for 6 months. Do it for a year. Stop telling that woman that anything that you feel that makes you happy. I said, because that woman deep down inside is not happy for you because she has some karmic issues that she needs to resolve. And I said, but you can't force anyone to resolve anything. The only thing you can do is work on your side of the karma. And I said, and the way you can work on your side of the karma is by letting it go, praying to the universe, praying to God, and telling them to protect you as much as they can from this person or from all your enemies. All right. So hopefully, like I said, guys, if you have a story you want to share, please contact me. I do not use any names. I do not put you in jeopardy like that. But if you would like for me to share your story, publicly, like on my channel here, on my platform, I would love to do so. Because I know there are some stories that are sometimes embarrassing to talk about or too sad to talk about. But the one thing I've learned is you heal when you talk about it. If you don't talk about it, you cannot heal. Once you open up your mouth and you start talking about it, you actually hear yourself and you will come up with an answer. So if you don't want to tell me your story, you don't want me to share your story, then, try to do your own channel. Try to do a vlog where you can anonymously post your story, post what happened to you so other people can see it. Not only other people can see it and heal from it, but you can also heal from it, because whatever you're keeping inside is going to end up festering and becoming cancerous. All right? So my prayers are going out to my client. I'm hoping that she finds the love of her life. Because like I said, did I tell you guys what happened? I think I sidetracked. So she got engaged, and the second time, and then what actually basically happened is her mom started throwing more magic at her, and then her and the person that she was engaged to separated. This woman is still single. She's looking for love. She tells me that every time she tries to work something out with somebody, it doesn't take off for her. And I said to her, I said, it's because your mom's still doing magic. And she asked me, she goes, but how can I stop that? And I said, start being more positive. Don't give up. Because as people can throw as much magic as they want at you, but if you don't give up and you don't say, I lose, it can't affect you. And now that she knows it's her mother doing it, it's definitely not going to affect her, because once you know who is the person throwing the magic at you or throwing the evil eye at you, it weakens it. And then if you turn around and say, whatever you send to me, I send it back to you ×3, wrapped in peace, love, light, and divine justice, it stops it right there. And then that's also what you want to do, is you want to call in your ancestors, God, spirit guides, archangels, angels, guardian angels, my ancestors, my spirit guides, my ascending masters. Please protect me from anybody throwing magic at me to stop me from getting to my written destiny. We all have a destiny, guys, but we also have enemies and ops that are trying to stop us from getting to our destiny. So our responsibility is to make sure that we get to our destiny no matter what happens. We will win at all cost. Regardless of what these karmics are doing, regardless of what these enemies are doing, we are going to win at all cost. We are actually moving into a position where Pluto is in retrograde. So everything that has been done is coming to light to be destroyed. Pluto is all about destruction and rebirth. So a lot of you may be feeling things from your teenage years, from your childhood, traumas that you went through. Pluto is resurfacing them, digging them up again, so you can suture them properly, put a Band-Aid on them properly, and let them heal. Because when these traumas happen to you guys, you kind of threw it under the rug and said, you know what, it's fine. I know I'm bleeding, but I'll be fine. No. Going forward for the next couple of years, you must heal your wounds. If you want to get to your destiny without fail, without delay, you must heal the wounds, okay? Now, in order to heal the wounds, like I said, you can talk about it, you can write about it, but you must acknowledge them. You can't just act like they don't exist, because that is why trauma continues. That is why PTSD continues, because we don't acknowledge where the pain is coming from. Sometimes it hurts to sit in the dark and look at your pain. But trust me, it will hurt a lot less once you acknowledge the pain, give it a hug, give it some love, and say, you know what? We're not going to do this to ourselves anymore, because we will protect ourselves. Our ancestors will protect us. Our spirit guides will protect us. Now, one thing a lot of people didn't understand about this client is, in her chart, she has the sun sitting in her, I think, third or second house, or I think it's the fourth house. Don't really note me on this, but it's somewhere there. When you have the sun sitting in your, I think, your second or your third house, you are your ancestor's favorite. You are that child that is breaking the cycle. So I explained to her, I said, you are the one who was chosen to break the cycle. You must carry this through. I said, if not, you're going to be reborn again next lifetime, and you're going to go through the same shit with the same mother again. I said, this time, maybe she won't be a mother, maybe she'll be a sister, or she'll be a cousin, but she will still bring up obstacles in your happiness. So what did we learn today? We have people in our lives that purposely want to bring in obstacles for us, because that's what they signed up for. Long time ago, when you were sitting up in the sky, sitting up there with God, right? Your contract is being written on the life that you're going to come into, on the path that you're going to come into. What do you think? As you're signing the contract for your life, you don't think your enemies are signing the contract to stop you from living that life? No, that's exactly what's happening, because that's what the enemies are doing. Oh, I did a cameo. What's up, guys? Oh yeah, I don't feel good. I have a cold, so I'm trying to stay keep my face off the screen. But if you saw me, oh my God, no, I look horrible. Just please ignore it. Or I probably scared you. Like, oh my God, what was that? It was just me, guys. But yeah, so moving forward, just understand that you have people. You know what I mean? You have people that are trying to stop you to get to where you need to go. Why? They don't need a reason. That's what the fuck they signed up for. They signed up to make your life a living hell. What you have to do is make sure you don't let that happen. Simple as that. So if there's anything I can encourage you on is, no matter what anybody says to you, if that's what you really want to do it. If that's who you really want to marry, do it. Because no one can say to you, you can't. No, nobody really can. And if you listen to people who tell you you can't, you're only doing yourself injustice. This lifetime, there's a lot of us that need to choose ourselves because we've been choosing other people. A lot of you people that have Saturn and Libra placements, right? A lot of those people who have Saturn in Libra, who have Pluto in Libra, your main goal this lifetime is to choose yourself and move forward. Choose your happiness. Okay? A lot of you Pluto and Libra generations, you really don't have much karma. The only karma that you have is, well, there's people who have karma against you. You really don't have karma. You are simply living in this lifetime to give other people their karma. Like, for instance, my client is also a Pluto in Libra generation. I said to her, I said, don't worry. I said, once you forgive her and you start living your life and you start living on the path, that you're supposed to, a happy, clean path with pure intentions, healthy intentions, successful intentions. I said, you will start walking that. I said, just as long as you don't resent anybody, you don't talk shit about anybody, you don't purposely, cause obstacles in other people's lives. I said, you'll be fine. The universe will help you. Hello, did you just hear what I said? If you don't cause obstacles in other people's life, if you don't resent anyone, if you don't have hate towards anyone, and if you're constantly in forgiving mode towards everyone, the universe will help you even more. Because the universe will say, well, my kid's not doing anything. My kid's minding their business. They don't even think about you. So why are you still attacking my kid? I can understand if you're sitting there lighting black candles and you're wishing bad on your enemy and you're wishing this and wishing that. Yeah, the universe is not going to help you because they're going to be like, all right, well, you guys are basically, what is it? Two peas in a pod. You're doing the same shit to each other. So I don't know who to help. Okay, maybe I help the one that's doing the lesser of the magic. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Retaliating with revenge is not the way to go. Retaliating with forgiveness and completely forgetting about these people so karma can take care of them is the way to go. Because I promise you, just like I promised my client, I said, as soon as you start living happier, lightheartedly, right, with that page of wand energy, I said, watch your enemies start to crumble. They will start having problems and you will watch them have problems. I said, but here's the kicker. I said, when these people have problems, you can't help. Absolutely not. And she goes, but why? I said, because you will take on the karma again. I was like, if you just freed yourself from karma, and now these people are getting their karma. Because believe it or not, if you want to believe in karma or not, these people that did her badly, that got her forced to get married and broke up her engagement and this and that, and the reason that she's still single, she still can't find love and this and that, is her mother behind it. Okay? Majorly, it's her mom and her sister. Or not her sister, but her mother's sister, her mom and her aunt are the ones that are behind this. So I told her, I said, the only way to defeat them is every time you feel like you are not yourself, send it back. So you wake up depressed from a dream, send that energy back. I said, you feel depressed about anything, send that energy back. I said, because what they're doing right now, and you can resonate with this too, collective, as you're listening to this message. There's a lot of people projecting on you. They're projecting their shit on you, and you're sitting there confused like, I was just happy. Why am I feeling like this? The reason why you're feeling like this is because someone was projecting on you. So her aunt and mother are projecting on her to make her feel like men aren't nothing, love isn't nothing, you're going to end up alone, you're going to die alone, this and that, blah, blah, blah. A very, very cynical mindset that they're trying to project onto her. So I said to her, do the opposite. Give love a chance. And I said, love yourself so much, become so obsessed with yourself that they can't stand it. It's like, put yourself first. Keep picking and choosing yourself. And I said, and watch how they're going to drop. So again, I'm hoping that this story helps other people. I'm hoping that there's other people out there that if they're going through the same thing, that they can listen to this message and understand that all they have to do is walk right with the universe, and all of their problems and their enemies will be taken care of. And another message I want to pass out there is that if you hate someone, get that hate out of your heart, because it's not going to go anywhere. You're only going to bring in your own demise. If you resent someone, get it out of your heart, because 9 times out of 10, you're not going to manifest anything. You're not going to be able to live a happy life. Okay? You're going to constantly feel resentful. And because you feel resentful, you're going to block out good things. There's a reason why we tell you negative energy blocks out good energy. Why? Because it's negative. It's negative. Right? But what happens when, as soon as you shine the light in the darkness disappears? So be the lights out there, guys. No matter how dark you feel inside, or no matter how somebody left you in the midst of the darkness, turn your light on. I pray that you turn your light on. I literally affirm it over you that you turn your light on after you hear this message. Because if you turn your light on, your enemy will not win. Okay? I love you guys. Please take care. And again, if you like this, what I was talking about, please comment at the bottom. Share your thoughts with me. Please like and subscribe. Please share the video if you want to. Also, I want to give a huge applause and a thanks, right, to my client for coming out with this story and sharing it with me. So this way, and also giving me the permission to share it with you. Because like I said, if you have a story that you are not ready to share, but you would like for me to share it, I will share it for you. I will not use any names. You saw how vague this was. It could have been anybody, right? It could have been anybody. You don't know this person, but the person who went through this knows who they are. And girlfriend, I love you. I hope you are safe wherever you are. And I hope that God brings you your kingdom spouse. So this way your mother and your family or whoever that's against you can shut the hell up, right? Where you're living in such a beautiful house and you have your beautiful family and you have a beautiful husband that takes care of you. You know what I mean? If that's what you want, if that's what you desire, sweetheart, I really pray and hope that comes to you and that your enemies become your footstools. All right, guys, it's your girl, Nosh. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys like that. I feel a little better because I feel like me sharing her story, again, is going to help a lot of other people. All right, guys, love you. Take care. See you next time.